Today on this episode of the Carefree Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make my mixed berry coffee cake. Now this is moist and tender and it has a sugar crusted topping and it is just bursting with blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. So follow along and I will show you step by step how to make it. Okay, so for the ingredients, you can use fresh berries or you can use frozen berries. And today I'm using frozen berries. This is the triple berry blend. I usually get this at Costco and you can really get a berry blend about anywhere. You just don't want strawberries in this blend. So if you picked it up by chance, just pick out the strawberries and it should be just blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. And then I have my sugar topping. This is raw sugar or sugar in the raw, and it is so pretty and it gets like this really nice little crusty topping on top and it is beautiful. And then I have my basic ingredients. I have some butter that I'm going to cream together with my sugar, and then baking powder, a little bit of buttermilk, some all-purpose flour, and then of course a little splash of vanilla. Okay, so to get started, we need a little bit of lemon zest, and this just gives it like a real punch of flavor. Make sure your lemons are washed and then dried completely. And if you have a really tough skin on your lemon, that is something. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to add my sugar and also my butter to a large mixing bowl. And you can make this by hand or in a stand mixer. Today I am going to use just a hand mixer to make this. And what we're looking for here is just a really light and fluffy sugar and butter mixture. So everything is creamed together, my butter and sugar. Now I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to add in my lemon zest. This is really, and then my egg, just one large egg here, and then my buttermilk. And now I'm going to just mix that up again. Okay, and you probably need to use a rubber spatula to just pull down the sides of the bowl so that everything is all mixed in, and then mix it until it's nice and light and fluffy again. Okay, and then to that, I'm going to add in my flour and my baking powder right there on top. Okay, and then I'm going to add in about a teaspoon of vanilla. And then for the berries, I like to just fold these in by hand. That will keep my berries from like getting really blended up and then you have the chunks of berries in there. So this is what your batter looks like. It should be like pretty thick batter, almost like a thick cake batter here. And now for our berries, how pretty those are. And they are still frozen and they will bake up just really nice. They'll just make this really nice like burst of berry flavor when you're eating it. So there we go. I'm just folding in my berries. And then I'm going to transfer this to a 9x9 baking pan. You could also use an 8x8 if you have that on hand. Or you could double it and do a 9x13. That'd be great too. Here we go. Here is our mixed berry coffee cake batter. So for my baking dish, I just have a 9x9 nonstick pan, and I'm going to coat it with a little bit of nonstick cooking spray. And then I've also have just a piece of parchment that I'm going to lay in the bottom of that. And then that way I can pull it out and cut it really easily. Now I'm going to just add in my coffee cake batter, and it's pretty cold because it's still kind of frozen. And that's all right. We'll just put it into our pan and then pat it down as evenly, and then pat it down a little bit so it's even, so it bakes evenly. And I love making this in the middle of the winter. It's perfect for the springtime. It's perfect for Mother's Day or just any kind of celebration, or if you're having a brunch with friends. All right, and to finish it off before I bake it, I'm just going to use a couple tablespoons of my raw sugar, and this just goes like right on top. It makes this really nice, sweet, crusty layer, and it really is the best finish for this coffee cake. Okay, and now we're gonna bake it in a preheated 350-degree oven for about 40 to 45 minutes, or until the edges are golden brown and a toothpick comes out clean. Bump it up a notch and make it extra special. This is what I like to do, and this is a really easy glaze recipe. You could use it on a bundt cake, you could use it on cookies, you could use it on any kind of a coffee cake. And all it is 1 cup of powdered sugar, And then I'm going to use my lemon that I had earlier. And this is totally optional because we do have that like really fine crumb on top of our coffee cake. But to your powdered sugar, you add in 1 to 2 tablespoons, and I'm just going to estimate here, of lemon juice. And then just give this a quick little stir. You kind of have to be patient while the powdered sugar absorbs that lemon juice. Give it a nice stir, and you can always thin it out a little bit more with lemon juice, a little bit more lemon juice. And the consistency you are looking for here is drizzleable. Yeah, that's the word. You want to be able to drizzle on top of the coffee cake. Okay, I think I need just a little bit more lemon juice, maybe half a teaspoon at a time. A little bit kind of goes a long ways here. And just keep stirring it until all of those lumps are out. All right, there we go. It's nice and drizzly. That is the perfect glaze consistency right there. All right, here is my berry coffee cake, and it is baked to perfection, that golden brown around the edges, and then you can see all those beautiful berries in there. And it's best if you can let this sit for about an hour or so and just let it cool a little bit. Okay, and now we can take this out. Take a look at that gorgeous coffee cake. It's got like these layers inside. Look at those bursts of berries. Delicious. Now I'm just gonna add a little bit of this glaze, and the glaze is of course optional, but it is really wanting to make it special. It's a fun addition. And now it's time for the taste test. Take a look at that. It was tender and juicy little coffee cake with that lemon glaze. Yay. It is so good, that little bit of crunchy topping. And then the bright lemon glaze. It is a match made in heaven. Check out that jammy layer there. I mean, so pretty. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Carefree Kitchen. And of course, you can always Google the recipe, the Carefree Kitchen berry coffee cake, and it will come up. You can find me on all social media platforms, and my recipes have printable recipe cards in the description. I will leave a link so you can get that at any time. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.